So I decided to stray from the norm of my other videos and use this one as a bit of an instructional guide, if you will, as I hear an uncomfortable amount of people complain about Battlefield 1 and the fact that you apparently die way too easy, vehicles are too hard to take down if you're a lone soldier on foot, or that it's nearly impossible to get kills flying planes. So, this is for you if you're one of those unfortunate individuals, because no one should ever feel oppressed by a video game. So, I'm gonna go out of my way to give you a rundown of the do's and don'ts of Battlefield 1 in the hopes that maybe my advice will keep you alive and killing more than one person per life. Now, when you're in a close quarter area, do not stand in the middle of open doorways because that's where the average shooter is gonna aim for targets. Hug the walls at all times, like a roach when you turn the kitchen light on at 2 a.m. Check your corners, and above all else, be aware of the entry points of the building. You either use them to bait the players in, or close them to make a temporary barrier. Plus, gotta establish a safe place in between your shootouts to reload and heal, but do not stay there long enough for a smart player to come along corner checking and end your miserable existence. Now when it comes to playing offense on planes, you gotta speed up, get right behind your target, immediately decelerate as much as you can to accurately light up their backside. Shoot in short controlled bursts, not only to keep your shots accurate, but because that gun's gonna overheat way faster than you realize. As for defense, don't do what this guy's doing. Fly as erratically as you can, almost to the point of you crashing yourself. The point is to shake your attacker, not try to outrun him, because at that point you might as well just eject from the plane. Exhibit B of offensive flying. Notice the utilization of the chase camera. When needed, you will find targets easier and you won't need to use third-person cam while flying. Now, when you begin to see the enemy plane descend to the ground and it hasn't exactly blown up yet, you need to get low. You gotta hook that plane to your plane, ascend, and then promptly DDT that plane straight back to the ground. Make them think twice about getting in a plane again. As for sniping from far away, use this clip as a reference. Pause it if you gotta. This guy is about 300 meters away, so cycle your zeroing distance, aim where they're going, and watch their very confused horse marvel at your sniping skills. I cannot stress this enough. Shoot it where the target's gonna be by the time the bullet reaches its destination. This isn't Halo or Call of Duty, we got some real boy physics up in here. Now if you're up close with a sniper rifle, do not be afraid to no-scope. I'm not trying to be fancy or anything, sometimes it's simply more useful than switching to your sidearm. However, when you shoot no-scoping, instantly switch to your sidearm should you miss. The suppression from the near miss will rattle the enemy, it'll make them more likely to miss you, allowing you to finish them off. Now, speaking of sidearms, if you have a sniper rifle and you aren't comfortable sniping at close to mid-range, your pistol should be your go-to gun when running through trenches or hallways. Now, what you shouldn't do while sniping is set up your sniping position in the direct path of a trench or a generally high traffic area like this. As you can see, I died because I was sniping those guys in the open. Ironically, the allure of all those pretty heads waiting to get capped was just too enticing. But fear not, should you have a decent human being on your team, you might get revived. Now, stay low, because the sniper thinks you're dead. Now, as for these gentlemen, don't do what they're about to do. See, they're running up a hill that's littered with the bodies of their teammates. Should you see a bunch of dead teammates all around you, you should probably think, I should probably go about this in a different way, considering everyone else who's running up this hill is mysteriously dying. Now, I'm gonna take this death right here as a partial assist, because I'd like to think I would have killed him if he didn't explode. Just saying. Here comes my personal favorite, dealing with tanks while on foot. While tanks can outrun a sprinting player, they're usually slow at making wide turns. So when you're being pursued, you gotta run wide, using any cover that you can, get the flank, toss some anti-tank grenades on them, and then just enjoy the fireworks. One explosive that works very well against tanks is the limpet charge on the support class. See, vehicles can't usually shoot people that are right beside them, so don't be afraid to run straight up on one and give them a little parting gift for their troubles. The limpet charges will usually just disable a tank, so at this point you gotta improvise. Once again, run wide to avoid that detection, find a conveniently placed cannon to assist you in your vehicular killing duties, swivel that thing around, watch all your fears disintegrate into the atmosphere. Now, when a driver notices somebody close on foot, their first move is going to be to run you over, and then the second move is going to be to hop out and try and kill you man to man. So take advantage of that situation. Plan a limpet charge, duck down to avoid any damage, and shoot the guy once he hops out. It's like killing two birds with two very different sized stones. One of the most underrated tactics in Battlefield, in my opinion, has got to be sticking with your squad and communicating. Even if it's a two-man squad, you now have two sets of eyes on targets, spotting enemies, and at the very least, putting some suppressive fire down on people shooting at you. Now, I'm sure you're tired of hearing my incredibly bland voice telling you how to get good at a video game, so take the rest of this clip as pure entertainment value from me to you. Thanks for watching.